free for a price. Long form content starting to make a little bit of a sneaky comeback. Not that it ever went anywhere. And nostalgia is everywhere. Hello, welcome back to my lives. I am Callum Richards, the owner of CR Socials, and the idea of these lives or videos, depending on when you're watching them, is to ultimately give you the breakdown of the newest tools within the social media marketing space, how you can use them, the latest trends, how it's going to affect you, breaking news, and just a general chit chat. If you guys have got any questions about what you can be doing with your business, how you can be growing your personal brand online, what formats, what systems, what tools am I using to benefit myself and benefit my clients, just drop them here whenever. If you're watching this live, you can always drop it in the chat, and then if you're watching these videos after they've been posted, just drop them in the comments. I'm always keeping an eye on everything that's going on within my YouTube social media spaces, so by all means just drop questions whenever you have some. Today's first talking point is Meta is basically rolling out a way for you to go on the platform ad free. It's almost like Meta is copying YouTube a little bit here. So what they've obviously started doing is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Facebook, Instagram and the feed. It's almost like every other post now, maybe even more than that, is a sponsored post, because the ad side of things is absolutely insane. They're killing it. They are, I don't know how much money they must be making just on ads alone, but literally if you go onto your feed now, it's probably every couple of swipes you're talking a sponsored post, which is what obviously we've come to expect from YouTube. Is you want to watch a 10-minute video, you best sort of expect to be watching 3, maybe 4 ads. Sometimes you get lucky and you'll get 2, but majority of the time you're getting hounded with ads. But of course, YouTube come to save the day from YouTube and offered us YouTube Premium, so you never had to watch an ad again. Well, ultimately, that's exactly what Meta's done. Meta have flooded the feed with ads. You can't really go swiping too often now without getting some sort of ad or sponsor post. They're giving you the option to pay a monthly fee to squash it, so no ads will turn up in your feed. You won't see any sponsored posts, nothing like that. Not too expensive, to be completely honest. It's £3.99 ad-free option. That's in the UK. Now, me myself, I like seeing the ads. It's good inspiration, and I enjoy sort of working out how well it's converting or watching the hook styles that they've used. I'm not against ads personally, but this is going to upset a lot of people, because how you doing, Ramo? You're old. How many people are going to take this option of £3.99 a month? I'd love to know from you guys, if is Instagram and Facebook massively covered in ads for you guys to warrant paying £4 a month to squash it? And if so many people do opt into this, it's quite an insignificant amount that if they opt in once, they'll probably never cancel it. It'll probably just be something. We've all got those subscriptions at like $175. You don't know what it's for. You can't bother to question it. You can't bother to cancel it. So you just let it slip out of the bank account every single month. I feel like Meta's sort of ad-free option will be something like that, unless they increase the price massively, which to Meta they probably will. So what I'd like to know is, how big is this going to affect people that are running ads? Does this mean are they going to be able to see the demographic of people that are choosing to opt out of ads? Are they going to be able to see the analytical side of things? Because the main thing of ads, especially when it comes to social media, is your targeting. But if your target audience is, for example, hi Joel, how's it going? If your target audience is people that are going to be the main bulk of people that are going to be opting out of ads, surely that is going to have a massive effect on how you're getting your clients. If your sole audience, your sole lead gen is completely based around ads, and now Meta up this in, I want to say this, I don't feel the effect of Meta ads. I wouldn't purchase something like this. But it'd be to see how many people are desperate to, because YouTube made it unstoppable. YouTube made it unbearable to watch like a half-hour video because there was that many ads. Whereas Instagram's quite good at flipping the ads round. Instagram's quite good at, or people are quite good at making ads where they actually feel like entertainment. So I don't necessarily think many people are going to opt out of it. Yeah, this is low of job. But I'd also like to see if it is going to affect people massively, how are they going to flip it? Because this is why I'm such a big advocate for spreading yourself across multiple platforms, as well as always making sure that you're hitting different sectors of lead gen. Organic's always big. Organic, in my opinion, obviously, is the biggest aspect to be hitting when it comes to lead generation. But then hitting multiple platforms as well, because it only takes something like this to happen, and your target audience, your target demographic, to be the main culprits that are going to opt out of it. And all of a sudden, you have lost your core audience. You've lost all of your lead generation through ads, or even just 25% of all Meta users or 10% of all Meta users decide to opt in for this. You're still losing a large portion of the people that were getting onto your page, that how you were selling your product. So I hope in a way this wakes people up to be, how's it going, Bush? You're right. I hope in a way this pushes more people to go towards organic content, to go towards cold outreach, warm outreach, and generate their leads in a more cost-effective way, because they can do this with anything, any platform that you're on. If you solely reside on YouTube, if you solely reside on Instagram, on X, it only takes one or two algorithm changes, or potentially you say something that upsets too many people on the platform, and you could lose everything. I'm a big advocate for spreading it across multiple platforms, having multiple forms of lead generation, and making sure that if one thing's taken away from you, that you've still got a backup. Things like email and Telegram are huge for this, because I used to run accounts where you were pretty privy to getting banned, basically, because you'd either grow that big or you'd get so many views that you just get squashed, because it was almost like an impersonation account, like these fan accounts that you see from like Grant Cardone, those sorts of ones, and monetizing from that. And you would, like I mentioned, you're pretty used to getting banned. So we'd always be using like email, we'd always be using Telegram, we'd always be collecting other information, so that if we lost, say, a 30,000 follower account, you weren't starting from scratch every single time. Don't get me wrong, you never got the 30,000 back or the 50,000 back or whatever it was. You probably get around about 25% of it, but it was still better getting 25% of 30k than absolutely zero. And I think this should be the same across the board, unless you're getting retainer clients, where if you lose the way you're getting clients, you're still going to be okay. You're still going to be able to put money on the table. If you're just selling products, and you're just selling products through Meta ads, and now Meta ads give the option for people to opt out of it, it's going to be very difficult for you to claw that back unless you're able to overthrow it. Ben, by all means, mate, you can shoot. You ain't got to stay here at all. So that's the main. Or you can stay here and keep putting short, no problem. So yeah, so that's the lowdown on Meta ads. Basically, there is now an option to opt out of it. You can pay £4 a month and that's it, you're done. So moving on to the next section here. Long form content come back. Now there's been a couple of articles. Ben, just swipe up, mate. Long form content is apparently making a comeback. Now, I've never thought long form was going anywhere, if I'm being completely honest. I know short form was dominant across all of it. I know long form was making a massive impact, and it was generating a massive amount of leads, gathering a massive amount of attention. As it would, it was, 12 to 20 to 30-second videos. Of course, it was going to ramp up the views and ramp up the attention that was being garnered by people. But for me, long form's always been a massive part of the content strategy, because especially when you're selling products, whether it's marketing products, whether it's digital services, how's it doing, Player Dark Souls, you're right, whatever you're selling, the best thing you can do is be in front of your audience and show your audience that you're trustworthy, show your audience that they've got reason to follow you, reason to receive value from the content that you're doing. Now, of course, you can do that within a 30-second video, as we've seen and as we're seeing on a constant basis on the short form platforms. But the trust level that you build up when you're doing a half hour or 10 minutes, half hour, an hour, 2 hour videos. If you look at someone like Joe Rogan's a prime example, I know it's a podcast, but the value he's providing, it's like 2-3 hours of raw, uncut video and value that people are just grabbing. Be careful you don't prolapse. Your teeth are filthy. Thank you, mate. That's what smoking will do for you. Toothpaste you use, Colgate. Colgate's the one. I'm not sponsored by them, obviously. So I don't buy this. YouTube's making a comeback or long form content is making a comeback. I think more people are starting to invest their time back into it. I think the short form hype has been a little bit sort of spaced out. I think the people are starting to want to gauge more from audiences because of how much short form's out there. But I'm also thinking that that AI's got a little bit of pushback onto this because how much AI content are people consuming now every single day? I'm going to hospital for an operation tomorrow. Good luck with your operation tomorrow. I wish you all the best and hope that you're in and out and no problems completely fine. Everything's completely fine. So that's more a take on it. There was I can't remember where I found the article now, but it was an article saying that, shorts are sort of getting lower and lower reviews and everybody's ramping up back onto the long form content. I don't think it ever went away. I don't think it's trending or it's making a comeback. I just think people are starting to spend more time with the creators that they like and starting to invest their time and their attention more appropriately in what they want to know. There's a lot of shorts can be sort of repetitive, there can be movie clips, it can be animations, it can be short bursts of sort of dopamine, but there's no real information there unless you watch a short and you go take action on it straight away, which is brilliant. And that's things like ads and things like promotional videos can be really good for. But I think majority of people that buy something from a creator have consumed some of their long form content. Myself, I'm a big advocate and fan of Alex Moser. I've consumed a lot of his content and I've bought his books. I know it's the pennies compared to what most entrepreneurs are selling, but I like that sort of content, so I'm happy to dive into his short form content and his long form content. Let's see what's going on here. It's a triple signature. Well, as I say, I really hope it goes well and there's no issues or anything like that. Ben's going to hospital tomorrow. Well, good luck, Ben. I wish you all the best, honestly. I hope there's no issues and your surgery all goes well. Patient name is Ben Dover. Got me. The man in the mask. How's it going, the man in the mask? How you doing? So so there's the two main talking points from that one. Was obviously if you're joining, also if you're watching later, we just touched on the meta ads. You can now cap it and basically get out of meta ads by paying £4 a month. And long form is apparently making a comeback. I wish I had where I read the article from on here now, but I don't. As I mentioned, I don't think it's a case of making a comeback. I just think attention's been properly spent in better places. That's more personal opinion on it. And then nostalgia plus non-linear storytelling. So don't start at the beginning, start at the memory. So again, this is something that, have you ever seen those films where it starts at the end of the film sort of thing and it explains to you like how you're getting to that point, and that's the film. What was one that was like a kids film that done it? I think Megamind does it. Megamind is like falling through the sky, and then you reverse back to the beginning of the whole show and of the whole movie, showed you exactly what he did to get in this sort of position. People are liking that sort of content, that sort of like retro, throwing it back. The not sub story. I don't want to put it like that. What would you call it? Underdog story. So rags to riches type of style things. Yeah, I don't know. Does Sonic do it? I didn't know Sonic did it. I'll have to rewatch Sonic now. But yeah, that if it does it, that sort of style where you start at the end of the film, you bring it all the way back. People are liking that sort of content now. I think this again has been something it's trending now, but this has been something people have liked from day dot. People have always loved to see where the origin story is. Where did the person start? Where did they? Where are they now? Where did they come from? What obstacles have they overcome? Because it allows people to put themselves in your shoes. It allows people to put themselves in your shoes and say, oh, okay, he come from this position, he come from, we might have come from a council estate like me, or he might have come from the same area as me, or he might have come from nothing to do with me, but I get to know a bit more about him. I get to understand him a bit more. So it's a good... Ben, my friend, it is Tuesday, it's 8 o'clock. I'm positive, mate, you've got better things to do than copy and paste in the same word in a live chat to try and get some reaction. Maybe this is the reaction you want, so we'll take a minute for Ben, because Ben's obviously wanting some sort of attention. We'll give Ben some attention. Ben, your words, your insults, your copy and pasting into a live chat, it's not going to stop me, my friend. I'm still going to be here in a couple of days. I'm still going to be here next week. I'm still going to be here next month. I'm still going to be doing the same thing every single time you send that message. It's not going to bother me. I don't think it's bothering anybody else in the chat. Right now, you're wasting your time and you're taking time out of your life to try and insult and to try and knock down somebody else who you've never met, have no interaction with, who is merely here to try and grow his online presence, to try and provide value, and you're taking time out of your life. You're losing right now. I'm happy here making the content, my friend. I'm doing this live whether you're here or not. But you have now decided to do this for what outcome? You could be... You've caught me. Okay. You could be working out, you could be learning a skill, you could be making content, you could be building your own platform, you could be doing your own lives. There is a multitude of things you could be doing. I'm happy to send you a list if you hit me up in the inboxes. I will happily make you more productive in any way, shape or form that I can. Right now, this is what you're choosing to do with your time. I am bothered. I'm going to carry on with the script, but I thought we'd take a minute to give Ben the attention that he wanted. What's the point, my friend? What is the point? You can either take notes on what I'm doing, or you could swipe up and carry on watching some other people's content, or you could do something productive. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I'm never going to meet you in the history of my life. I don't get it. I've never understood this mentality of coming onto social media to throw this sort of stuff at people. So I'm a little bit intrigued. But two, I want to highlight to yourself. I want you to sit there and realise that this is what you're spending your time doing. Okay? So by all means, Ben, carry on doing what you're doing and copy and pasting some ridiculous statements in the chat. Or I would ask you to do something productive, better yourself, man. Like, literally just do anything that's going to better you and make you a better human. Because it doesn't get you anywhere, it doesn't get me anywhere, it doesn't provide any value to anybody in the chat. And if anything, it costs them, because now I've come off script just to tell you. No, Steeler 690 this man has been messaging more. Okay. No, don't pay him the time or day. He's just one of those guys that comes into chats and does this sort of thing on a regular basis, I'd imagine. What will happen when I come off this live is he'll probably go and do it to another 6 or 7 lives, or to normal content. If we check his profile, we'd probably find out. But we're not going to pay you any more time, Ben, because I don't think you're going to change anytime soon, my friend. Unfortunately, I hope you do. I wish you all the best. How's it going, Leo Edits? Nice to see you. So now I want to move on to the anatomy of hooks that convert. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Again, for anybody joining the chat and seeing Ben, no, not one of those guys. If I was one of those guys, I don't think I'd be doing a live, and I think the likelihood of me coming into contact with Ben, but just to put it to bed, no. Everything he's saying is to get some sort of attention. As I mentioned, I believe he does this all the time. I've been waiting for someone like Ben since I've been doing these lives. I think this is number 4 or 5. So I've been waiting for someone like Ben to come along, I'm not going to lie. I was thinking I was getting away with the hate and the bots and the people coming in and trying to troll. But I want to block him. But I want him to look back at his life in a couple of days, maybe in a couple of years. I want him to realise the stuff that he was doing. I want him to know that he was doing this sort of stuff. Imagine Now, I can honestly say, hand on heart, I've never been a bot on any social media throwing hate to people. I've always had better things to do with my time. I've always wanted to spread goodness, to be good to people. And I just want people to understand that this is what they do, and understand that the only person this hurts is themselves. Because it's not going to affect me. As I mentioned, I'm going to be here in a couple of days. I'm going to be here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to probably be doing these lives for the foreseeable because I enjoy doing them, they're fun, and it's a good way for me to practice speaking, to build a relationship with good people in the chat. So I want to emphasise the good, and also to hopefully bring some value to you guys. I hope, hand on heart, I hope Ben isn't doing this after this call tomorrow, next week. I really hope he's not, but we'll see. I feel if Ben was going to get the message, he'd have done it now. But anyway, mate, I'm from Birmingham now. Bite yourself, man. So, let's move on to the next part of it. So yeah, the anatomy of hooks that convert. So you've got like mini hooks, which is obviously Scotland. Yes, man. Love it. Love it. How you tuning in from Scotland? What team? What side of Scotland are we? We Celtic, we Rangers, or you're going to tell me a team I don't know, ain't you? And then I'm going to look like I'm happy. But no, welcome there. Nice to have you. Roo. Is your name Roo, like Rooney? Rooney? Or is it just Roo? And I'm looking like I'm happy. Is it like Roo stands for NI? Let's see what else. So you've got a mini hook. If your first like 3 seconds flat, basically, that's it. We all sort of know this. Oh, Northern Ireland. Oh, check that out, man. I got UK guys in there. I'm hitting Scotland, Northern Ireland. I just need someone from Wales. And you don't call it, it's not called Southern Ireland, is it? It's called Ireland. Just normal Ireland. Said, hi, man in the mask, how's it going? Yeah, I don't think we need. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a Welsh. We need someone from Wales here, because then we've hit them all. We got the Brummie from England. We got Scotland. We got Northern Ireland. We need Wales, and then I guess you call it Republic of Ireland is Southern Ireland. So I've got more family originate from the like Southern Ireland or Republic of Ireland. I think they're sort of like around the St. Eliscortha, I want to say it is, somewhere like that. So I've got some family. Fully Jamaican, but honestly got Welsh blood, bro. We'll take it. So we got the Welshman. Yeah, Simon. Is it Simon or Simone? We'll take that. If you got a little bit of Welsh in you, we'll have that all day long. So we got English, we got Welsh. Oh, we got no one now, to be fair. We got absolutely no one. Took too long going through it. So what makes people get hooked onto the sort of content that they want to be watching? So the main one is the curiosity gap. Tell me about it. Let me see. I didn't want to ever do this, but let's do that one. It's the first time. I never wanted to have to do this because I just think it's like, it's just ridiculous, like having to. Yeah. I'm okay, thank you for man in a mask. About yourself. Sorry, I'm learning the YouTube. Like as I mentioned, I've never had to like go on these things for individuals. As I did say, I was half expecting this to happen at some point because as amazing as social media is, we know that there are certain people out there, and there's certain things out there that obviously goes with the territory, don't it? It goes with the things that happen. And unfortunately, we found that out today. But what do? We ain't gonna sit and cry about it. I just never, as I mentioned, I just never wanted to have to do these. There we go. Okay, and then you've got Oh, you're a smart cookie, you are, mate. And yeah, there we go. Right, we will finish this live off with the anatomy of the hooks that convert, and basically what is the main areas you want to be hitting, the main things you want to be targeting when creating your hooks, when you're writing them, whether it's related to your business, your personal brand, and sticking to that sort of format. So the curiosity gap, the weight, what, making people guess. What's making people guess? So it's like, you know, the pattern interrupt, the sound, movement, that sort of thing, and making people think, oh, what's going on? We saw it. Do you guys remember the Alex Mosley ones that were going around? It'd be like hammer dropping, and then out of nowhere it'd just pop up on the screen, or the sliding ones, that sort of thing. It's, you're almost waiting in anticipation to see what happens, to see how it's gonna go. So they're quite, you know, it's like a little micro story. How's it going, man in the mask? So then you've got psychology levels. So this is like the fear of missing out. So many people have done this, or, you know, for people like me, or for people like you, you're bringing a group together. So the viewer then wants to say, how's it doing, ABFC edits? I like the name, man. That's a solid name. So you're bringing that group together so that then people are wanting to be part of it. It's almost like you're missing out on a community. I never messaged anyone's 12-year-old sister, Danielle. I promise you that. You threw me now. That one caught me off guard, that did. So IVFC edits, that's his name. I'm looking the IVFC side of it. Obviously, Birmingham, Aston Villa, best team. Like, we were all right last year. We're doing all right now. So bringing people together, making that community feel, it makes people not want to miss out. It makes people want to get involved with your content, or find out what the secret is, find out what the information is, because it's going to be sort of like a payoff to them. They get to see what other people know that they don't currently know, and it brings obviously a massive amount to them. So how do you guys test hooks? I'd love to know in the chat. If you guys are posting content, let me know what platforms you're posting on, what type of content you're posting. So we've split tested, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this now, but with Instagram, you've obviously got trial reels. This is a big one for being able to test out a range of different hooks. You know, you can literally do the same body video, but you could do 2 or 3 different hooks, whichever one gets the most views on the trial reel. You then send that out to your main audience, and you can keep sort of split testing it down. So you literally fine tuning, so you can find yourself, you know, 3, 4, 5, 10 like key hooks, you know, work across Instagram mainly as a platform. With TikTok, it actually allows you to basically post the same content, but just sort of formatted differently. So I don't know if you guys have seen the reverse hooks, where it starts with the end and then it flips it the whole way around, and then what ends up happening is you usually have the reverse hook there, you'll have like a blackout or a flip or a transition. It will go into the story, and then when it gets to the end of the video, it like loops back around and starts at the end again. They're quite cool. I remember the first time they dropped on Instagram, and they were brilliant, or wicked at obviously boosting your views, but a brilliant way to grab people's attention, because if you're telling a story about how somebody sold £5,000 worth of toilet brushes, you could literally start with that and then flip it the whole way around. They were quite cool. I did like them. You can also do things, which is a new one I've recently been testing, is posting in the stories and literally posting the hook, and then doing a poll at the end of the 2 hooks and saying to people, which one did you prefer, which one grabbed your attention more. This works especially well if you're planning far ahead, because you can do that poll. X amount of people, it's usually only like 5 to 10% of your followers will see the poll anyway. They judge the hook, and then you could post that content, say 6 weeks later. Boom, there you go. You already know which hook's working. I wouldn't recommend doing that on a consistent basis. So the trial reels, you can literally do that with every single piece of content. The TikTok reels, you can do that with every single piece of content. The polls, I wouldn't necessarily. I like to mix up my polls and do things like, and do certain things like thumbnails, or do things like testing lead magnets, see what people like the most, what people like the look of. I like to test a range of different things. I don't like to keep it the same too much. So that's sort of ways you can test the hook, the key things to be incorporating. Obviously, analysis as well is, I don't know if you guys have ever been scrolling, something grabs your attention. If I'm ever scrolling to see what type of content to create or doing some sort of competitive research, if I've been forced to watch something the whole way through, and even better if I almost watch it again, I have to ask myself, why did it grab my attention? Why did I have to watch that video? And then I end up watching it about 5 or 10 times, literally trying to break it down. Well, was I interested in this? Was there a psychology sort of trigger that they used? Was it the visual? What was the visual? Was it the audio? And flipping it that way. That's a massive, massive thing. If you can find some big accounts that are very good, not like celebrity accounts, because celebrity accounts are quite good at it because you already know the brand. But if you can find some big accounts that have a masters at hooks, it's so worth grabbing as many as you can, just breaking them down and breaking down exactly what they use, the visual side, the audio side, and why you think you watched it yourself, and then testing it. So definitely worth doing. So to close this up, Meta has now added a way for you to remove ads for £4 a month, which there's good and bad sides to it. And at the end of the day, I would have paid for something like that because I like seeing the ads, but I don't feel like Instagram and Facebook ads have got as annoying as what YouTube ads did, because obviously YouTube did the same thing. You pay for premium, no ads. YouTube ads were annoying because they were like TV ads. Instagram ads, I haven't got to that point yet. I feel like if they do, more people will purchase it. So maybe Instagram and Meta will balance the scales there. But me, myself, I like watching the ads. Some of them are really good. They're good for analysing, and some of them are great content, to be completely honest. So that was the Meta ads. Long form is back. I don't think it went anywhere, but apparently there's reports out there. I was reading an article or two earlier saying that the long form's making a comeback. I just think people are being more precious on where they're spending their time and where they're investing their attention. And if they can get more return on a long form video than they can on consuming, a half-hour video, how many shorts can you consume in that time? People are being more conscious of where they're spending their attention. And I think we'll see a massive boost in that. And we'll see a lot of creators that are predominantly short now moving into the longer format content. Even if it's just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a short 5-minute YouTube video, I think we'll see a lot of creators moving into that space. And then just a quick breakdown on how's it going. Sayapsta, nice to catch you out. And then, of course, how you can break down your hooks, how you can sort of go through it in depth, how you can analyse other people's content styles and use it to your advantage ultimately. So that was it. A little bit of a weird live today. As I've mentioned, I was expecting something like this at some point. I don't know how well I handled it. I'll probably watch this back and see whether I thought I handled it all right, whether I handled it bad, and obviously prepare for when it happens the next time, because the whole reason we're doing things like this is so our views get bigger, our followers get bigger, our attention, retention sort of things get better, which ultimately brings more people like the person we've seen in the chats today. So yeah, I'll be checking that out to review it. I'll be posting another one of these in the next couple of days. Probably look for Friday. I like the Friday evening ones, so look out for that. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for engaging in the chat. I truly appreciate everything. If you were here for a minute or if you were here for the whole call, I truly appreciate any time you guys invest into watching my content. Any improvements, any feedback, any more things you'd like to see, any less things you'd like to see, so it's him. Let me know. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.